Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be kicking off on how to become a car mechanic in 5 videos. My name is David Roskoff and I'm a current ASE certified master technician. I also have my L1 advanced specialist certification. So I'm really excited to share some knowledge with you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the introduction of our video series, and we're going to teach you how to walk around a vehicle, which is really important. In our next videos, we're going to talk about the engine bay, tools, how to troubleshoot and diagnose certain issues. And I'm also going to teach you guys a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned over the duration of a couple of decades working on cars. So the walk around. Well, first off, I want you guys to learn an acronym that you've probably seen on TV or heard in school, and that's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And the reason why that's so important is because diagnosing, troubleshooting, or working on your car, you always want to take the path of least resistance and always keep it simple. Don't overwork yourself. And that is why the walk around is always important. That's going to apply to your vehicle, if you're learning to work on your own car, or if you're starting off as a new technician, the walk around is crucial, not only if it's crucial for the car's condition, but also for you to pick up clues and certain things that you might miss or the customer missed over the time of driving a car. So let's go ahead and show you the walk around. All right, we're gonna start off with the wheels and tires. It doesn't matter what you're doing, walking around and knowing the condition of the wheels and tires is really crucial. Well, first off, one of the things that people don't know is that tires have manufacturer codes. And these codes tell you when a tire was actually made at the factory. And the reason why that's important is because a tire can look good, but if it's past its service date, which I usually say anywhere between 6 to 8 years, depending on the condition of the car, if it was kept in the garage. When you're looking at the tire for the age, you want to see if there's any type of cracking, any type of bulging on the outer of the tire, and if there's anything missing, like any type of damage that occurred from a curb check or anything like that. A lot of people don't know this, but whenever the outside of the tire gets damaged, it's not serviceable, so you really have to take that into consideration. Another thing too is having a flashlight is going to be your absolute best friend when you're learning to be a car mechanic. With your flashlight, you could only see a certain part of the tire, but it's just good to walk around, just make sure that there's not a nail or anything like that that's sticking out. And then you're gonna move around and see if there's any curb checks, see if there's any cracking in the rim that you can see automatically. Now, one of the things I learned in the military working on different aircrafts is that looking and touching is never the same thing. Sometimes you want to touch stuff, right? I'm touching the center cap because if it's loose, you wouldn't be able to tell if you were just looking at it. And also make sure that you have all your lug nuts, and we're going to talk about that here in a bit. And then you're going to go ahead and look at your rotor, right? This is a steel rotor, not a carbon ceramic rotor, but this is where you're going to be looking at it and just making sure that there's nothing out of the norm. There's no major cracking, there's no major chips, there's no major discolorization from overheating. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to look at the actual brake caliper. And what you're looking for the brake caliper with your initial walk around, just make sure it's not leaking. Again, make sure there's no damage, make sure there's no distortion. And in some vehicles, you could actually look at the brake pad and you could just inspect it just to make sure it looks kind of even, see how much life is in there. Like on my particular brake pad, it looks like it has about 50% of brake life. But that's just a quick look around of your wheel and tires. And that's what you're gonna do with all of them, just making sure everything looks good in your walk around. All right, now we're going to talk about something really important. We're going to be talking about the tailpipes. And these are really, really important whenever you're doing your walk around because they tell you a lot more than most people would assume that they do. Now, if your tailpipes have a lot of black soot around them, that would tell you that your engine's probably running rich. Or if you saw a lot of white substance around it, that might tell you that you might have a coolant leak or something else is going on. This is the end process of your combustion process. So this is going to tell you a lot of things. So when you're looking at your tailpipes, you could see if the engine's running right or wrong, or if there's something going on. So never just walk past the tailpipes. These will tell you a lot more than you think. Now, this is the part that's super important, and that's looking underneath the car. When you look underneath the car, the very first thing you're looking for is any type of leaks. If you have a leak, that's a whole different situation there. But if you don't have one, that's a great thing, but don't stop there. Go ahead and shine your light up to the engine panels.
because sometimes you can have a slow leak, or the leak could be stuck in a certain panel and you could see kind of residual areas where it's been leaking. So always look at the ground, but also look up and look around to see if you have a leak.
Let's say you find a leak on the ground, and let's pretend that this is on the ground and there's a leak. What you want to do is you want to use typically a white paper towel, and you want to go and you want to pick it up. When you pick it up, now this is fresh oil, you can look at it. And the reason why you want to look at this is it's going to help you with your diagnosis. One of the things you could do is not lick it, but you want to do is you want to smell it. And when I smell it, there's not a lot of odor, but used oil actually has a stronger oil smell. Now this particular oil right here is brand new, it's Mobil 1, and as you can tell, it's kind of like a brown hue to it, looks clean. So you know that it's most likely brand new oil. If it's a little darker, then you know it's oil. But different colors matter. If it's red, most likely it's transmission fluid. But manual transmission fluid could also be this color. It could be clear, it could have a hue of red in it. And also knowing how coolant looks, because coolant comes in blue, pink, red, all kinds of colors, so in power steering fluid. So just knowing your different colors of fluids will help you understand what might be leaking. It's kind of your first step to troubleshoot what's going on. Now we're going to be looking at the headlights. And the reason why is because on newer cars, believe it or not, there's a lot of issues with condensation built up. And you could, take it to the dealership and do that under warranty work. But on this particular model, there's usually problems with condensation and peeling and all that. So doing a quick check on the headlights is always good, just to make sure that you don't have to service them. On my particular McLaren, they were resealed, just to give you an idea. But it's a good thing to walk around and make sure that things are good. So we're going to continue around to walk around. What we're looking at now is just making sure that there's nothing wrong with the car in itself. Looking at the condition of the rubber and the seals and stuff like that when you're walking around, that's really good. Looking at the glass, looking at the tint, the main thing you want to notice is if anything is out of the norm. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of companies now stamp their glass with their name, and that will tell you if the glass has been replaced or not. On our particular McLaren, if you look over here, it says McLaren right there. And so you know that that glass is original. All right, guys, you have successfully watched and finished and learned from our first video, the walk around. Now stay tuned, because our next video, we're going to be talking about the engine bay and what you're supposed to look at, and we're going to be teaching you some stuff around there. It's going to be a really cool video. But again, we're going to take baby steps, and we're going to take you all the way home to becoming a car mechanic. All right, guys, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe and watch the next video in our series.